जमुनतीरावनचारी जमुनतीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम जय निदाई गौरंग जय निदाई गौरंग निदाई गौरंग जय निदाई गौरंग जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद जय विष्णुपाद परमंस परिवराजकाचार्य अष्टोदश डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शिल प्रभुपाद की जय स्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य पीपीटी फाउंडर आचार्य से द होल वर्ल्ड विश्व गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की जय ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय दाई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमा श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 2, Text 9. धर्मस्य हि अपवर्गस्य नार्थो अर्थाय उपकल्पते नार्थस्य धर्मैकान्तस्य कामो लाभा हि स्मृतः धर्मस्य हि अपवर्गस्य नार्थो अर्थायोपकल्पते नार्थस्य धर्मैकान्तस्य कामो लाभा हि स्मृतः। धर्मस्य हि अपवर्गस्य नार्थो अर्थायोपकल्पते नार्थस्य धर्मैकान्तस्य कामो लाभाय स्मृतः। Dharmashaya Bavargasha Nartharthayo Kalpade Nardasha Dharme Gandasha Kamo Labha Dharmashaya Bavargasha Nartharthayo Kalpade Dharme Gandasha Kamo Labha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. All occupational engagements are certainly meant for ultimate liberation. They should never be performed for material gain. Furthermore, according to sages, one who is engaged in the ultimate occupational service should never use material gain to cultivate sense gratification. Please repeat the translation. All occupational engagements are certainly meant for ultimate liberation. They should never be performed for material gain. Furthermore, according to sages, one who is engaged in the occupational service should never use material gain to cultivate sense gratification. Purport. We have already discussed that pure devotional service to the Lord is automatically followed by perfect knowledge and detachment from material existence. What was that verse? Already discussed. Devotional service followed by knowledge and detachment. This previous verse. Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janyadyasu Vairagyam Jnanam. Jnana and Vairagya will follow. But there are others who consider that all kinds of different occupational engagements, including those of religion, are meant for material gain. The general tendency of any ordinary man in any part of the world is to gain some material profit in exchange for religious or any other occupational service. Even in the Vedic literatures, for all sorts of religious performances, an allurement for material gain is offered, and most people are attracted by such allurements of blessings of religiosity. Why are such so-called men of religion allured by material gain? Because material gain can enable one to fulfill desires, which in turn satisfies sense gratification. The cycle of occupational engagements includes so-called religiosity, followed by material gain, and material gain followed by fulfillment of desires. Sense gratification is the general way for all sorts of fully occupied men. But in the statement of Suta Goswami, as per the verdict of the Srimad Bhagavatam, this is nullified by the present shloka. One should not engage himself in any sort of occupational service for material gain only, nor should material gain be utilized for sense gratification. How material gain should be utilized is described as follows. So that we shall read in the next verse. Om Ajnanatamrandasya Jnananjanachalakaya Chakshurunmilidam Yena Dasmai Shri Gurve Namaha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Nidinamine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Bracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Bhasha Dadeshadarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So this is the verse. Another important verse that Prabhupada quotes many times. Dharmasya hi apavargasya. So dharma is referred here as the occupational engagements. They're meant for what? Apavargasya. And Prabhupada many times explains what is this pavarga. We'll discuss that. So all occupational engagements are certainly meant for ultimate liberation. Dharma should be used for getting free from this pavarga. Apavargasya is for negation. So by using the dharma, we should become free from this pavarga. Papa Babama. Prabhupada explains that. What is that Papa Babama is meant for? Pa is? What pa is for? Parishram. Hard work. What is pa for? Fena. Form. When people do a lot of hard work, Prabhupada used the example of like the horse and some animals. Then they do a lot of hard work, then there is a form. So that is fa. Pa, fa. And the va. Va means व्यर्थ. It's waste. So much hard labor, so much of fena. But what is the real gain? No gain. People work hard that, oh, we will be happy by doing this, doing that. But it is all worth. And then also, while doing that, they're constant in bha. Bha means bhaya, the fear. Constant fear is there. And then finally, ma. Ma is for mrityu. And everything is finished. Mrityu sarvaharasya. So this verse is saying, dharmasya hi apavargasya. One should become free from this pavarga. It should not be utilized for nartho arthaya upakalpate. Dharma should not be utilized for artha upakalpate. It is not meant for artha. Artha means material gain. So dharma should not be used for any kind of material gain. That is not the purpose of dharma. Dharma should be only utilized for apavarga. And then further it is said here, narthasya dharma ekantasya. What is the meaning of this? Dharma ekantasya. One who is engaged in dharma, dharma ekantasya. If somebody is seriously interested in this path, on the spiritual path, or somebody is engaged in dharma, or ultimate occupational service, then that person should not use the artha. Narthasya, dharma ekantasya. One who is on the path of dharma, he should not use the artha for what? Kamo labhahi smrata. Na kama. So one should not use all this material gain for kama. Kama is sense gratification. So anyone who is interested on the path of dharma, then if you have the artha, first of all, dharma should not be used for artha. And you already have the artha, you have money or whatever you have. But you are on the path of spiritual path you are on. Then you should be very careful that how you utilize your material possessions. So narthasya dharma ekantasya should not be utilized for kamo labhahi smrataha. Should not be utilized for kama, for sense gratification. And who is saying that? Smrataha. According to the sages, this is the recommendation. So the 2-3 things here. Dharma should not be utilized for artha upakalpade, for any kind of material gain. Rather it should be utilized for apavarga, becoming free from this pavarga. And if you already have some artha, but if you are engaged on the spiritual path, then don't use this material gain for kamo, labha, smrata. Don't use for sense gratification. Right? So Prabhupada explains that to accept any kind of religion means to nullify these 5 kinds of vargas, papa, bhavama. People are working hard in this material world. And people had to work hard. you cannot be without hard work. But hard work should not be for material gain so that you can fulfill your desires for sense gratification. So we cannot avoid the work, hard work in this material world. Krishna confirms that in the third chapter, that Sharir Yatra Picha. Sharir Yatra is there to maintain the Sharir, this body, this life. We have to work hard. But what has been explained here is we should not work hard for what? For sense gratification. People work hard for material gain so that they can fulfill all their desires for sense gratification. That is condemned. So this is parishram. And Prabhupada talks a lot about this parishram, that this is just an ignorance. What is the example Prabhupada use for that parishram? Who does a lot of parishram? Donkey, right? So much hard work donkey has to do for what? Some little grass, which is there all around. But donkey is donkey. He doesn't understand that I can eat grass anywhere. Think unless I work hard for the washerman and then carry this heavy load on my back, and at the end this washerman will give me some little piece of grass, a bunch of grass. He doesn't understand that grass is there all around. Prabhupada uses this example. He says, this is what is the ignorance, this is the misconception. People think unless we work hard, how we'll maintain? And it sounds like so logical, right? If it doesn't work hard, how will maintain? But this is how we have created our life. We can't even imagine without work hard we can even maintain. And we see the example, like especially in this country, people practically work like 10 hours, 12 hours, some of them 14, 16 hours. And still they keep struggling. They make a lot of money. So much tax goes to the government. So much money goes to the rent, house rent, and all that. And at the end, no saving. So he's working hard just to eat just 2 meals or 3 meals or something a little bit like that. It's very difficult to conceive in this modern lifestyle that we can live happily and peacefully without this hard work. We have artificially created this lifestyle. Right. Prabhupada gives the example that the elephants, hundreds of elephants, thousands of elephants in the jungles, they are not working hard. They are not going to some office every morning. But they are happily eating. How much they eat? We eat just little few chapatis. How much an elephant eat? He eats so much. Who's maintaining him? Right. So this is how the nature has been designed. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate. This is the invocation mantra that Ishopanishad says. That this material creation is designed in such a way, it is Purnam. It is complete in itself. So we should not artificially need to create any unnecessary things. Whatever is required for our basic sustenance in this world is been given already. But we have to work hard for what? For all artificial needs we have created. Now Prabhupada gives the example like, when Prabhupada was living in the beginning days, the storefront and like that place. And one time one person came, I think that owner of that place, he came and he was shocked to see that in that room there is no furniture. So he couldn't conceive that how somebody can live without furniture. So he's asking that Swamiji, like you don't have any furniture. Prabhupada says, why do I need the furniture? So now how do you eat? People think without furniture you can't eat. So you should have the dining table, some chairs, then only you can eat. Right? So first you have the dining table, then you get the chairs, and then you put so much add. What kind of chair? Which chair? The chair back pain. It should be comfortable. That should be this thing push back. So much unnecessary things. Prabhupada says you sit on the floor and eat happily and you'll digest well. Right? So this all artificial necessity has been created. And for those artificial necessities, we have to work hard. Otherwise, for basic sustenance, everything is there in in the nature. So this is very, very artificial civilization. Prabhupada often quotes this verse, Eko bahunam yo vidadati kaman. Right? Krishna is maintaining everyone. Krishna will maintain all of us. Right? So whatever is needed for us, it will come by its own accord. The famous verse that Tashyeva heto prayatet kovido. That whatever we are destined for, it will fall on our head. It will come. You have to just do your basic duties. It doesn't mean that we sit idle. We do our basic duties, and whatever is destined, it will come. People think because I worked hard, so much parishram I did, and then I got this. And it makes a lot of sense, right? It's very difficult to understand these concepts. If somebody does the overtime, definitely he'll get some incentive, extra money. So he says, because I worked hard, so I got a lot of money. So how you can say that, you don't gain by hard work? So how do we explain these kind of things? When you go out and talk to people, they'll not agree to this kind of concept, that how you can deny this parishram. Because out of hard work only we are making a lot of money. So yes, there is a gain. Is there gain or not? There is a gain. What is that? Material gain only we are talking. It's a very interesting concept to understand. Actually, there is no real gain. We have to see the bigger picture. If you become like very unidirectional vision, that you see the gain in terms of only some money or some finances like that, then you are very narrow in your understanding. See, the real gain is ultimately, the gain means you should become happy by your gain. So what happens with all this hard work? You can make extra money, but you have already compromised on so many other things. Probably you have compromised on your health or on your relations or something like that, right? So the happiness which has to come from your good health, from your good relations is cut off. That is cut off, and it is the same happiness is coming in terms of little bit of extra money. So you are thinking that I got extra money because of my hard work and this is the extra gain. But what you are not seeing is you already lost to something from other aspects of life. So actually speaking, there is no real gain. But it looks like there is a gain. This is ignorance. Maya cheated us in so wonderfully that we are thinking, yes, we have to work hard. Right. Here you see in this country, people, practically what is their life? Morning to evening, office, keep running around, pick and drop, kids, and they had to do everything, all whatever, cleaning, washing, laundry, everything they had to do. So what is the enjoyment here? They get a lot of money, dollars, and facilities are there, but there's so much hard work is there. Right. So this is how this parishram, and then fena, and then everything is worth. How it is worth? Even now it is worth, and at the end of the day, mrityu sarvaharashaham, everything will be taken away. So it will be all zero gain at the end. And then people are in constant fear. Right. So this fear is also, people think that if we work hard, we make a lot of money, a lot of savings, and they think that that will protect us. But what people fail to understand is the real fearlessness comes only by taking the shelter of Krishna. Bhagavatam explains, Deha patra kalatradishu atmasainesu asaswapi Tesham pramatta nidanam pashyanapi na pashyati. So people think this, oh, deha, patra kalatradishu, my wife, my family, my bank balance, my influences, my connections, my friends, that is what is my real sena. This sena will protect me. But Bhagavatam says, this is asat sena. This is false army, it will not protect. it will not give you the fearlessness. Example is given. What is the example? Ravan. Very powerful, very intelligent, scholarly, in the golden city. Who can be more opulent? And very scholar, great Pandit, devotee of Shiva. But even Shiva couldn't give him the protection. Prabhupada quotes this example. Nobody can give you this fearlessness except Krishna. Right. So this Prabhupada quotes from somewhere, Harim Vinana Mritam Taranti. Without Hari, nobody can give us this fearlessness. And what is the root cause of fear? What is the root cause of fear? Why people are fearful in this material world? There's a beautiful verse has been which describes, I think it is in the 11th canto, which describes the root cause of fear. Anybody remembers? Bhayam dvitya abhivineshatasyat. When somebody do the nivesh means investment. If you invest into something which is wrong thing, that will create the fear. What is that wrong thing? We invest in a wrong identification that I am this body. As soon as you start thinking that you are the body, the fear begins. Right. So the root cause of the fear is the misidentification of your real self. We think that I am the body, and then immediately we are fearful. We are not the body. We are the soul. Soul as part and parcel of Krishna. When somebody is in that realization that I am part and parcel of Krishna, and you understand who Krishna is, then there is no fear. So Prabhupada says in one of the lecture, Prabhupada was saying that if you get attached to anything other than Krishna, anything in this world you get attached to other than Krishna, you has to be constant in fear. This is the law of nature. So if somebody is not Krishna realized, God realized, but if you are any other thing realized, then you are illusion realized. Prabhupada used these words. If you are not God realized, but you are any other thing realized, then you are illusion realized. You are in illusion. And you have to be in constant fear. So this fear also, even everyone is fearful. From a small ant to even Brahmaji. Indra is fearful. Prabhupada was giving the lecture in America. Prabhupada saying, your president Nixon is fearful. What will happen to my position? I might be kicked out. So even the president of the country is fearful. So everybody has to be fearful in this world. So this is fear. And then pa, pa, ba, ba, and then ma, mrityu. So dharma is meant for become free from this pa, pa, ba, ma, this pavarga. That's the purpose of dharma. Dharma is not meant for any kind of gain. Nartharthaya pukalpade. So this, in the Srimad Bhagavatam, we see in the beginning, Vyasadeva explains cheating religion. Dharma projito kehta vatro parmo nirmassaranam sadam. This kehta dharma. And what is kehta dharma has been explained. This Chatur Purushartha Dharma, Artha, Kam, Moksha, very famous. Everybody talks about that. Oh, dharma should be done for Artha so that you can fulfill your Kama. And after you are done with that, then you look for Moksha. This is a cheating religion. So dharma is not meant for the Artha or Kama. And not even for Moksha. That is also cheating. Somebody says, oh yeah, we understand the goal of life is Moksha. The goal of life is not Moksha. Goal of life is loving devotional service to the Lord. That's the goal. Even the Moksha is also considered as cheating. So here in the story of Dhruv Maharaj, this verse comes, Narad Muni explains to Dhruv Maharaj, he says, Dharma artha kam mokshakhyam yaiche shreya atmanaha ekam hi eva hares tatra karanam padasevanam. Any person who desires the fruits of the four principles, religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation, should engage themselves in the devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For worship of His lotus feet yield the fulfillment of all of these. So if somebody is following this Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, if he doesn't come to worshipping the lotus feet of the Lord, then it's cheating religion. Agyan tamera naam kahiye kethav dharma artha kama moksha vancha adisab. This is from the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So it has been considered as Ajnana. The darkness of ignorance is called Kaitav, the way of cheating, which begins with religiosity, economic development, sense gratification, and liberation. So Dharma is not meant even for all this Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. It is meant for Apavargasya. Nartharthaya Pakalpate. And then further it is said here, Narthasya Dharma Ekantasya. If you are seriously interested on the path of Dharma, then you should not use your Narthasya, your Artha. Don't use that for Kamolabha, for sense gratification. Don't spend money for sense gratification. If you have the money, money has the utility. What is the utility? Money should be utilized in the service of Krishna. That's the purpose. And that is called Yukta Vairagya. Nirbandhe Krishna Sambandhe Yukta Vairagya Muchyade. So we should engage everything, whatever we have. It is not only just money. But that famous verse from the 10th canto where Krishna spoke this. What is that verse? Etavan janma safalyam dehinam yadehishu pranayar arthar diya vacha shreya achanam sada. Not only just money, but everything should be utilized in the service of Krishna. Prana, artha, diya. Diya means intelligence, and you don't have anything. You don't have intelligence, you don't have money, you can dedicate your life. Then vacha. Simply just chant Hare Krishna. But everything should be utilized in the service of Krishna. With the understanding that Ishopanishad says, Ishavasham midam sarvam yat kinchit jagatyam jagat tena tektena bhunjita makash raddashanam. So we understand that Ishavasham midam sarvam, everything belongs to Krishna. So with that understanding, everything should be utilized in the service of Krishna, not for sense gratification. Right. So when this king of Jaipur, Raja Man Singh, when he met this Rup Goswami, and he says, my dear sage, what can I do for you? I want to offer something. Can I give you something? Then Rup Goswami said, what you will give me? He did not say that, but the reality of Rup Goswami is Tyaktva Torna Mashesh Mandalapati. They are not ordinary people. They are the ministers. So much money, so much opulence they had. They left everything. And they came to Vrindavan not to get something. So Rup Goswami said, what I want for myself, I don't want anything. If you want something to do, then build a temple for Govind Dev Ji. And then this king of Jaipur, he built the big temple, 7-story temple in Vrindavan for Govind Dev Ji. Like that. So that is how the money should be utilized. Your artha should be utilized for serving Krishna. It should never be utilized for sense gratification. Because goal of life is not sense gratification. Rishabdev says to his sons, that famous verse, Nayam dehade bhajan lauke kastan kaman arathe vidbhujanye tapo divyam putrika yena sattvam suddhet brahmaswakyam tu anandam. Suddhet asmat brahmaswakyam tu anandam. So he says, this deha, this body is meant for some tapasya. Tapasya for Brahma Sakhyam, Brahma Sukh, which comes only by serving Krishna. It is not meant for this hard labor sense gratification, which is available for bid bujaniye. Very strong word has been used. This hard labor sense gratification is available for the hawks, stool eating hawks. They also work hard, keep eating stool. What's a big deal? So this human form of life should not be utilized for kamo labha hi smrdaha, for sense gratification. So this is the verse. But somebody say, no, but we have the senses, we had to have some gratification, no? Little bit is also not allowed. It's too much. So what kind of sense gratification? So Shastra says, yes, sense gratification is allowed. But what is not allowed is unrestricted sense gratification. The sense gratification which is not sanctioned, that is condemned, that is not allowed. So sense gratification is allowed, but three things we should remember always if we want to do the sense gratification. It should be sanctioned, sanctified and regulated. That sense gratification is allowed. Sanctioned. What is sanctioned for us? We should do that only. Not that anything and everything we see, we want to enjoy that. Right. So for the humans, like simple example, for the humans, sanctioned is you can eat the food grains, fruits, milks, eating the animals. It's not sanctioned. People are eating meat. It is not sanctioned. Just for sense gratification. Because they like the taste. Not allowed. So first of all, it should be sanctioned. Okay, sanction is fruits, vegetables, grains and all of that. But just because it is sanctioned, you cannot take just like that. It should be also sanctified. So that is why anything we take, first we prepare nicely with love and devotion and offer to Krishna. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya brachati. With love and devotion we offer and then it becomes sanctified. So prasadam is sanctified. It is sanctioned, it is sanctified. But now it is prasadam, can I eat like 20 samosas, 20 rasgullas? No, along with sanctioned and sanctified, it should be regulated. You cannot just it is prasadam, I can eat how much ever I want to eat. Not allowed. Again, it will become sense gratification only. Even the prasadam becomes sense gratification. So it should be done in a regulated fashion. Right. Krishna says, Yukta har biharasya, Yukta chestasya karmasu. So everything should be yukta, regulated. Now regulate, when we talk about regulated, what it means regulated? Two things. One thing is the quantity, and also, especially we are talking about the prasadam like eating or anything. Ahar, bihar, yukta ahar, biharasya, yukta chesta, yukta karma. So everything should be regulated. So you eat on time and eat the right quantity and the right food. Though if it is prasadam, still that regulation has to be observed. So this kind of sense gratification is allowed. But beyond that, one should not run after the sense gratification too much. Nunam pramatta kurute vikarma yadindriya pritriya apnoti. So Rishabdeva wants that indriya priti apnoti, for indriya priti, for sense gratification. If there's so much of desire for sense gratification, then what you will do, end up doing vikarma. The person becomes pramatta, nunam pramatta. He becomes mad after sense gratification because of so many desires. And then he becomes mad, he becomes illusioned, blinded by those desires. Then what he will do? Kurute vikarma. He will do vikarma. Vikarma means sinful activities. To fulfill all the desires, sense gratification and everything, start doing all the vikarma, all sinful activities. And again, that is not allowed. So one should be very, very careful not to get into the trap of this kamo labha smrutaha. And that is the purpose of this dharma here. Is born dharmasya hi apavargasya. We have to become free from this bondage, pavarga. It is not for material gain. Material gain is not meant for sense gratification. Okay. So then what we should be doing? That has been explained in the next verse that we'll see. Kamasya naindriya priti labho jiveta yavada jivasya tattva jigyasa. So that is the next verse we'll talk about. We'll stop here unless anybody has any quick question or any comment. Somebody wants to add something or ask something. Okay, if there's no question, we'll stop here. Granth Raj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.